Ladies, gentlemen, never in between. Welcome to Talking at 6. I am your host, 1-6, aka the Hip Hop Cheech and Chong, aka this Pinocchio at wooden balls, man, aka it's the Diggy Diggy Doc, y'all, aka from the bricks to Shaolin, aka DJ Say What, aka Funk Doctor and the Phenom, a.k.a. to cow, a.k.a. run laps for a body you, a.k.a. hey my lady, a.k.a. ooh girl you nasty, a.k.a. so hot that I can kiss the sky, how sick, so sick that you know the rest, a.k.a. I'm a ghost. And this episode is brought to you by The Red, The Track, and Cow with a key. Oh shit, where the keys at? Oh man, in case you haven't already figured out, today's episode is about Redman and Method Man. I will be discussing their careers, their movie careers, partially, and pretty much just their overall general vibe, man. You know, how they meshed together, kind of how they formed up. Just mostly just why I think they're one of the best hip hop duos of all time. Honestly, like if not number one, at least top five. You know what I mean, and to be fair, there's not a lot of. No. I guess I wouldn't say there is a lot of top duos. Like I can't really name five right now. Shut up. But definitely Run the Jewels is up there. But yeah. Man, I think Redman might be the best, you know? Definitely, if not number one, definitely a close second. Probably number one, though. I mean, it's hard to beat that. Hard to beat their legacy. Hard to beat where they came from. For those who don't know, Method Man is part of the legendary group, the Wu-Tang Clan. And Redman's just straight out of Brick City, man. He's out of New Jersey, a.k.a. Brick City, a.k.a. the Chocolate City, a.k.a. Jersey, yo. But yeah, man, they just happened to both be signed to Def Jam around the same time. They had albums. Their albums were releasing around the same time. This is during Method Man's solo career. Solo albums coming out at the same time as one of Redman's albums, and they, like the label, put them together to go do press tour, to go to a press tour together, whatever. They ended up linking up from it, you know. They met, you know, chopped it up, ended up bonding or whatever, hooked up, became homies. They ended up, off of that bond, ended up releasing the album Blackout, which honestly is definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. Like, it's fucking, dude, it's fire. Like, it's great. Like, it's comedy. It's straight fire spitting. It's dope production. It's got some legendary hits on it, man. Shit. There's You. There's The Rockwilder. There's fucking, what am I thinking of? I'm blanking. Why am I blanking? Why am I blanking? Oh, there's Fire in the Hole. There's Serial Killer. There's the title track Blackout. There's I want to say Four Seasons with LL Cool J and Ja Rule. That one definitely goes hard as fuck. So good. The skits on the album are great, man. It's so dope. Honestly, that's like 90% of the intro came from just that album alone. Like, not to say they don't have other dope shit, but God, that album's so good. And then, even like solo, even like not group album, not joint albums, not them releasing albums together, they've done several features on each other's songs. There's one Redman song that comes to mind. It's called "Enjoy the Ride." It has Method Man featured on it. It's off Method Man's album Malpractice. Such a good fucking album, dude. So fire. Such a great song, too. It's super hype and just gets you up out of your seat, get you moving. You know, you might body a nigga, too. I mean, it just goes down like that. But no, the whole, like, premise of the album Malpractice is it's a roller coaster where, like, man, I can't remember the exact numbers right now. I'm blanking. But a portion of the people don't make it off the ride. And it's so funny because it's really awesome, like, dark, scary intro. And it just goes through, it's the Diggy Diggy Doc, y'all. And this is the first song, super happy. And, like, they don't mention anything else about roller coaster until Enjoy the Ride. And then it ties it back to this part, like, this song itself is the roller coaster. You're back on the roller coaster. You're back in the skit of the album. So awesome. And then that doesn't come back around again until the end of the album. They bring up the roller coaster again. Like, that whole skit comes back. But Enjoy the Ride. Such a dope song, man. So good. Highly recommend checking it out. And then there's a Method Man song. Why am I blanking on the title of it right now? Fuck, it's a. Ugh, I am so blanking. I think it's like We Some Dogs or some shit like that. Something really similar to that. It's awesome. Has him, of course, Method Man, Redman, and Snoop's on it. I I think it might have Nate Dogg. But that's such a great song, which actually brought to my attention through the show Method and Red, which great point going in topic going on. Their TV show, their sitcom that was on Fox in like '04, I want to say. It was like early to mid 2000s. They had a show on Fox. It was really funny. Yeah, it was on '04. It only aired for one season, and like not all of the episodes aired. It was like I think they had like 13 episodes, and 9 out of the 13 aired. There's just 4 unaired episodes because there was just like so much controversy about the show. There were people like protesting Fox. People were like, "I'm not watching Fox again until that show's off there." Just never gave it a chance to win. Nothing to do with it. Could have been a race thing. Could have been just people don't like rappers. It was at a time when people still weren't. I mean, people still don't fully like rappers now, but it was like back in the early 2000s, people really did not like rappers. They did not like them crossing over the mainstream. They didn't want them promoting products. They just wanted to pretend they didn't exist. It's like, oh, there's such a terrible image and they promote horrible things. It's like, I mean, then again, no one fully said to go do horrible shit. And this is slightly off topic tangent. I gotta go on this rant real quick. But it's like, you look at T.I., like where he is now. He's a great businessman, promotion, entrepreneur, promoting, doing great things. But if you go back to the song, go back to the Slim Thug song, Three Kings, with Slim Thug, T.I., and Bun B. There's a T.I. line where he says, $150 tennis shoes, no suits. And it's just like, to hear that shit made me laugh because it's hilarious. It's like, that's what T.I. was doing. It's young man T.I. It's like early 20s, young rapper, still hungry, still doing his thing, out there being flashy. But now, you ask T.I. now, you catch T.I. in a suit. Like, you catch him in a well-tailored, fine dress suit. And I just think it's hilarious. Like, you listen to rappers' early albums or like their early songs or just their early lyrics in general. It's them saying crazy, outlandish things. And you listen to them now, like, they almost say the exact opposite of that. But it's like, oh, you're hypocrites. Like, I mean, they were in their early 20s. That's when you're supposed to say things like that. That's when you're supposed to do things like that. That's when you're supposed to live that life. You're supposed to be young, wild, and flashy when you're young, As you get older, you mature, you learn more in life. You grow as a person, you get better, you do better things. But it's funny that, honestly, I'm not calling them hypocrites on it. I just think it's funny. Like, you go back and look and you compare those things side by side. It's hilarious. Like, first off, who's taking life advice from someone in their early 20s besides teenagers? And then, yeah, okay, well, that's not a positive image. Yeah, at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Really? You want your kids all buttoned up and suited up at 22, just fine business suit? You know what happens to those kids? Huh? American Psycho. All right? That's what happens with those guys. Oh, man, one day they're wearing suits, next thing you know, they're dropping running chainsaws down the stairwell. Do you really want that? Do you really want that? Huh? Oh, you want your kid in a suit? Do you? Or do you still want him in a suit? If you know you put him in a suit, he'd be chopping up someone with an axe to Huey Lewis. Huey Lewis. It's hip to me squared. Okay, seriously. Gotta get back to the topic. Don't know how. Somehow managed the Huey Lewis from Redman and Method Man. Anyway, back to the show. I personally I rewatched it recently. If you haven't seen it, look it up. All 9 episodes are on YouTube. Just search Method and Red. It'll show up. They're full episodes. They're great. It's hilarious. There was one downside. Well, not I personally. It's kind of I personally in the downside, but it's also a personal issue with Method Man of he hated that they put a laugh track on the show. Like, there shouldn't have been a laugh track. And honestly, watching it back, it's like, yeah, the laugh track's kind of stupid. It's almost like kind of telling people when, yeah, that's what laugh tracks do. Tell people when the jokes are. It's like kind of like, oh, Studio Audience. They make Studio Audience laugh joke. But at the same time, it's like, there's so many lines that are funny that aren't just the punchline of this one joke that putting a laugh track in almost ruins the punchline. It's like, oh, it's not just a laugh track over the joke, and it's like no one's playing it up. Like, it's not wacky, zany, wink at the camera laugh thing. It's it's literally the jokes are just there and you keep moving. It's kind of like It's Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny does funny shit but keeps moving. They make a joke, everyone's laughing, they keep moving. Everything keeps going forward. This show, it makes a joke, and it tries to keep moving, the story keeps going forward, but the fact there's a fucking laugh track is just really distracting. But honestly, you should still check this show out. It's really funny. Essentially, the premise is Method Man and Redman, friends since childhood. They blew up, signed a record deal, move out of the hood, move to this really nice suburban neighborhood. Method Man's mom lives with him. It was Method Man, Redman, and then Method Man's mom, and then like all their homies, and a couple of their homies are there, like work for them. They're like basically their gophers are there, like the little henchmen, if you will. But yeah, it's hilarious. And like their neighbor lady, like the lady lives across the street, is head of like the HOA. She's a real estate agent. Like she's constantly trying to like get them to move out of the neighborhood. She's trying to sell her houses in the area, trying to get people to move in. She's just constantly at war with them. But her husband's like kind of okay with them. Doesn't have a problem. And her kid loves them. Like he's loves their music. Big fan of them. He's like super stoked they live next door. He's like constantly trying to be their friends. But they're like they really don't want anything to do with him. Not in the sense of like he's a jerk or anything. Like it's like they're rappers. They don't want a kid hanging around their house all the time. Get out of here! Like, get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! But honestly, it's pretty funny, dude. It's like it's awesome. It has some great beats. It has some great moments in it, and it's like Redman and Method Man, really funny comedic actors. Really just pretty decent actors overall. Method Man, of course, plays more of the straight man in the series. He still has like jokes and stuff as his bits, but he's more like the serious up front. When a Redman's just more off the wall, just crazy, like just completely out there. There's one episode where like he's playing Madden. Redman's playing Madden so long that he goes blind. Like he's up for like 48 hours straight playing Madden. His eyes like staring at the TV so long, his eyes just go completely blurry. He can't see anything. So it's, yeah, but he gets heightened. All his other senses get heightened, so you can just hear like super great hearing, but he's blind. It's so great. It's so great. And it's like this one lady from the neighborhood that he's always flirting with. He's like, eventually, like in an episode, he finds out that she's cheating on her husband, and like he's still blind. He's like up on the roof, so he can hear their conversation in the backyard. Like his hearing super good, so he can hear their conversation. It's like, hey, quit lying to your husband. We over. I can't be with no liar. And he just like breaks up with her for lying to her husband about being with him, but he also knew she was married. It's just stupid and unnecessary, but it's hilarious, man. But yeah, I wish the last 4 episodes would have got released, because that show was funny as shit. Like, I remember being funny as a kid, and then I went back and rewatched it. We watched the episodes on YouTube, and it was hilarious. They definitely held up. It's definitely worth watching. For some reason, they have this like rival. Not even. Let's say for some reason, it's like unexplained rivalry. They have a rivalry with Yao Ming, because there's one. They went to a Knicks game, and they were court seats, and the Knicks were playing the Rockets, and like they had like all these snacks and stuff, and like Redman like had to put his hot dog there. He had a hot dog, he had popcorn, he had all shit. He tried to grab something else. He's like, man, hey, hold this one. He's like, no, man, just put it down. It's like he puts his he put like ice cream down or something, fell on the court, and Yao Ming slipped on it, and it like just injured him and took him out. So since that day, they've had a rivalry with Yao Ming, or should I say Yao Ming? It's just, every time they say his name, it's super drug out, dramatic. It's hilarious. It's so great. Like he's competing with them for funding of a basketball stadium, and like this whole like stupid complex and like just makes no sense plot. It's hilarious. Like there's one episode where like they're riding mini bikes around the living room. They go in the front door, just riding mini bikes up and down the stairs of their house for no reason, just because they can. Like just one like the old intro, like Method Man's watching a basketball game. He starts making a sandwich. He's like, TV on from the fridge. He opens the fridge. There's another TV inside the back of the fridge. He closes that. He goes open the drawer to get a knife out. There's a TV in the drawer. Like they just have all this over the top unnecessary things in his house, just completely complicated, completely overcomplicated, just stupid, just like throwing money at it. It's hilarious. And like his mom lives with him, and she like works in a toll booth, and she still works in the toll booth. Even though he's like, yeah, mom, I told you, you don't need to work no more. I got you. I got this covered. I'm gonna keep working. Like also, his mom is played by the mom from Friday, so it's just hilarious. And also, her whole like thing is like she still works in Tobu. She still works hard. She loves Jesus. Classic black mom thing. So dope. Seriously, check the show out. But another one of her main character points is like she's constant rivalry with Redman. She just does not like Redman. Which thinking about it is pretty funny, because she was also Redman's mom in How High. Hello, Mom. It is a lamp. But yeah, same actress. Played the mom in Friday. Plays Method Man's mom. Played Redman's mom in How High. Speaking of How High, man. Great movie. Honestly, if you haven't checked it out, what's wrong with you, man? How have you not seen How High? It is a classic. Also, part of the reason why you could call them the modern day Cheech and Chong, because, I mean, marijuana references are heavy, but also, dude, How High is such a great movie. So fucking good. Just so funny. We will slightly address that sequel, aka the movie they're not in, aka the dumbest fucking money move grab ever, aka YMTV. Why? Why would you cut Method Man? How High 2? It's like, oh yeah, we finally in the How High sequel. Oh yeah, by the way, Method Man and Redman aren't in it. What the fuck? Who wanted that? Yeah, everybody wanted that movie just for the movie. No, everybody wanted the movie because Redman and Method Man were hilarious in it. You want them in the sequel, they should redo it. They didn't put them in it. They got what? They got Lil Yachty and somebody else, and apparently that movie was a train wreck. People trashed it so hard. The fucked up part is, like, it's on Netflix, and I can't bring myself to watch it, but I want to watch How High, but the original How High isn't on Netflix. They just have How High 2, and it's like, dude, I'm not going to watch How High 2. Speaking of unnecessary sequels that are terrible, sorry, another tangent, but, you know, either you love it or you don't. You don't love to get off the podcast. These tangents ain't going to stop, man. It's just how I think, how my brain works, how my mouth moves, man. Come on, man. Anyways, unnecessary sequels. Undercover Brother 2. Like, I don't think it looked like it was straight to DVD. It might have been straight to Netflix, dude. It's so, I got like 30 seconds. I got like 2 minutes into it. I can get to the first 5 minutes of it. And not even because, like, oh, it's staged up so bad. It's, okay, it's another dude playing it. They don't got Eddie Griffin back. It's another guy. I'm like, I'm assuming, like, you look at me, assume it's a different character. But, like, as the intro's playing, the voiceover narration playing, and realize, oh, this is Eddie Griffin's character from the first movie. Played by clearly not Eddie Griffin. Why the fuck are they playing this off as if it's the same character? Dude looks completely different. Why didn't they just play it off as, oh, this is another member of the Brotherhood. This is another Asian Brotherhood. No. We're going to go with, it's about him. Like, it's not even about him. I'm assuming he's undercover brother. Something happens to him because it also mentioned his little brother. And I'm guessing his little brother gets brought into the Brotherhood and takes over because undercover brother gets captured. I didn't get that far into the movie. I was already introduced his brother who's like, oh, yeah, nerdy and uncoordinated and kind of wacky. And it's like, man, fuck this shit. This movie's going nowhere. You already pissed me off. Like, I hate movie sequels do that. When they get another character to play, when they get another actor to play the main character from the first movie, they carry it over, and the movie's going to be about that same character, but you couldn't get that actor back, so you got someone else to play the roles. Like, no, you don't do that. You don't just do that and pretend nothing happened. No one will notice. Everyone notices. It's always terrible. It never works out. It just looks like shit. It's a waste of time. Why would you do it? Just why would you do it? But speaking of not horrible things, terrible transition. I'm not great at transitions. But if you saw the promo about this episode, you saw the promo post about this episode, you saw Sexy Cosmo. Shout out to that. That's a cosplayer by the name of Jessica Negri. She's actually really dope. You should check her out. She does a lot of great things. But speaking of Fairly Odd Parents, the Pixies rap, you know, evil pixies, they're opposite of fairies. They're not the opposite of fairies. Anti-fairies are the opposite of fairies. Pixies are like, they're kind of like fairies, but they treat magic like a business. You constantly got to sign out paperwork, and just they rarely ever fulfill wishes and barely do anything magical. They're super buttoned down, business boring. They head pixie HPs voiced by Ben Stein. Hilarious. So there's the Fairly Odd Parents movie. I forgot the one with like Happy Bob or whatever. The summer one where like the kids like comedians are wishing that kids run the world and kids take over. That one. Can't remember the whole thing, but that one's also funny. I can't remember the name of it. You've seen that shit, watch it. It's hilarious. It's really great. But there's a part in that where like where the Pixies do this rap. It's like it's a musical. Everybody's musical number. The Pixies number is their rap. It's like, we're Pixies. That's right, son. We make Mixies. So dumb. It's like, I like loved it for years. I didn't realize until like I was like easily in my early 20s. Like I saw this when I was a kid and didn't realize until I was in my early 20s that the Pixies rap is actually Method Man and Redman. It took me forever. I was watching it one day. I was like, oh man, watching a rerun of it one day. And like, oh man, this is awesome. Came to the part. And I was like, wait a minute. I hear, I was like, no, that's not. Yeah, that is fucking Redman and Method Man. Did not catch it until I heard Redman bark and realized, oh shit, that's Redman. Wait a minute. Oh shit, that's Method Man. Be fair, in my defense, it's not straight up their voices. Like there's some slight voice effect on it where it kind of changes it, which is slightly like not fully off, but like not super obvious punch you in the face. Redman, Method Man, like I can spot Redman's voice. Trust me, I can recognize their voices. It's slightly off enough that it threw me off for years. That I just didn't catch on to that shit for years, and I felt really bad about it. But it's like, it's dope, man. Shout out to Redman and Method Man. They were on Nickelodeon, not just on Nickelodeon. They're in a cartoon, not just any cartoon. They're on Fairly Odd Parents, man. Do you know how dope Fairly Odd Parents is? Like honestly, one of my favorite cartoons of all time. I'm not going to go into the full tangent right now. I'm going to go on a slight tidbit. Not a tangent, not a full rant. It's a tidbit, because it will get its own episode. Cosmo may be one of my favorite characters of all time. Timmy's dad, also a great character. Voiced by the same guy. Also, Gordy from Ned's Declassified, which Ned's Declassified will also get its own episode, because that show is awesome. He was Gordy the janitor in Ned's Declassified. Why did I not find that out for years? I don't know. But that guy is great. He also played Timmy's dad in the live-action version of the Fairly Odd Parents movies. That guy is awesome. He deserves way more credit than he gets because he's hilarious, and Cosmo is seriously one of my favorite characters of all time. Like, possibly not the best, but definitely top 5. One of my all-time favorites. Like, honestly, like, I quote a lot of shows and movies and songs, but Cosmo quotes are definitely in my head more than almost anyone else ever. Like, honestly, keep it real with you. There's an episode. Okay, fine. This is a tangent. It's not a full tidbit. It wasn't a tidbit. It's more than a tidbit. It's a tangent. Shut up. I'm going to go into this again on the Fairly Odd Parents episode, but Cosmo, this one, I found a nickel. And the bad news? It's a girl nickel. I found a nickel. I named him Philip. And the bad news? It's a girl nickel. But honestly, based off of that joke, just because of that joke, I actually have a nickel to this day that I keep with me. I have a nickel named Philip. I found a nickel. I named him Philip, and I keep him with me to this day. Based off of that dumbass joke. It's completely unnecessary, completely stupid, did not forward the plot in any way, and shows up like several times in multiple episodes just because it's stupid and why not keep running with it. But it's great. I love it. But speaking of team ups, speaking of great things, speaking of running gags, speaking of I'm horrible at transitions, Def Jam Fight for New York, but the prequel to that, aka the original, aka I'm really bad at transitions, please send help. Def Jam Vendetta, Redman Method Man, like one of the best appearances in that game. They were a tag team. Apparently, I heard a rumor that, well, not even a rumor, I originally heard that game was originally skinned. It was originally a different game. But then they got the Def Jam license at the last minute, so they just skinned all the characters, put all the Def Jam rappers in it, and made it a Def Jam game, because it was originally supposed to just be a straight-up wrestling game. But then they got the Def Jam license, so they had all the Def Jam characters in it. Dope move! Really great. Method Man and Redman, part of the story is this tag team tournament, and, like, the champions of the tournament are the last people you fight are Redman and Method Man. And I don't know the full banter, but they have this, like, interaction they have, like, where one of them's outside the ring, one of them's inside the ring. They have this, like, intro that only happens that one time in the story. You can never recreate it. Trust me, I tried several times. Me and my cousin tried all the time. We would play Redman and Method Man and, like, try to find the right configuration to get them to recreate that dialogue because it was so awesome. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work. It pissed me off so much as a kid. Like, so much. To just crushed hopes and dreams, man. That was a really fun game. But honestly, the much better and possibly my favorite game of all time, Def Jam Fight for New York, improved on everything. It was like there was less of a wrestling vibe, more of a street fighting vibe, just overall like brawling street fighting. There was wrestling moves in it. There was wrestling in it. There was submissions. There was martial arts. There was kickboxing. There was street fighting. Like, it was awesome, dude. Such a great game. They had the fighting. They had the actual like street fighting rings, just circles of people in like an old dirty basement somewhere. There was the actual like wrestling ring vibes and just clubs. There was the cage matches. There's that fight on the subway platform. Such a great game. But I say that because Redman and Method Man are in that one. They're not a tag team this time, and Method Man is really like heavy on the story. He's one of the main characters pushing the story along. Redman's just kind of in the background of a couple scenes. Like, you don't ever really see him do much until, slight spoiler, towards the end of the game, you face off against him as one of the bosses, and it's honestly like, man, he must be terrible because he never fight. He's never in everything. But what if Redman's secretly really awesome and just really scary? And like, he sends you, like, before you go to fight him, he sends you this text message, possibly in 2 way. You read his voice message. He's like, I'm gonna cut out your eyes and put them on my knees and call you Niecy. Dude, the delivery on that. I did not do it justice. Do yourself a favor, go look it up, try to find it on YouTube if it's there. But goddamn, Redman is like one of the funniest people ever without trying. Like, clearly I was written for him to be funny, but it's like, Redman's just so, like, his delivery is so funny and so awesome. It's like, comes to music, acting, whatever, dude. Like, even in interviews, like, him just talking, it's like, dude, like, It's just intriguing. Like, man, that shit's captivating. It draws you in. It makes you want to keep listening to him because he's just like, just the way he does it. Just his whole style is so awesome. Not to say Method Man isn't dope. Method Man's great too. Method Man does voice acting in the game. He's dope. Method Man is also like his acting. I feel like his acting career has been more diverse. Has been more like he's had some like more. I won't say nuance, but more like developed characters that aren't just strictly there for comedic effect. Yeah, sometimes it's just played up as, oh, here's Method Man in a movie. But also, Method Man could also, like, more of a character actor, where I feel like Redman, if Redman's in something, Redman is basically playing himself, not saying he's, like, limited as an actor, just like, he gets typecast, he just gets cast as Redman because you want Redman. No offense, like, Redman's awesome. I want Redman, you know? It's like, you put fucking Randy Savage in something, Bonesaw is ready. Like, you don't want to see him in a suit being serious, like, oh, dramatic role. You want to see Macho Man be Macho Man. That's why he's Bonesaw. Just over the top, unnecessary, hilarious. Like, you put Redman in something, you want Redman. You want the super over the top, off the wall, jumping around and yelling, hey, fuck you, Redman, you know what I mean? That's what you want. Method Man. Not saying Method Man doesn't have energy, not saying Method Man can't bring energy, not saying Method Man isn't funny. Method Man's hilarious. Method Man's more of a laid back vibe. He's more calm, he's more chill, you know? You don't expect Method Man to be off the wall and yell at you. Can he get to that level? Hell yeah, he can. Can he also chill out, just be cool and be, play character? Yeah, I respect that. It's awesome. Honestly, I feel like they both should be in more acting. They should also do some voice acting work. Like, straight up, cartoon-wise, voice acting would be awesome. They should get into voice acting. It'd be really dope. It'd be really great just to see them in an animated series. I think it would be hilarious. It'd be, like, one of the best things out, like, honestly. Then again, that's just my opinion. Maybe it's yours, too. Who knows? Maybe your opinions, you want to hear more of me. You like what you hear. You like what I'm doing. You like what I say. Why don't you go ahead and check out the rest of my YouTube page, Talking at 6. Check out some of the other episodes. Maybe you like what you hear. Maybe you subscribe. Maybe you go ahead and check out my Facebook page. Also, Talking at 6. You give it a like. You follow it. You let me know how you feel. You follow reviews. You leave a review. You leave a comment. You let me know how I'm doing. You let me know what you want to hear. You let me know what you don't want to hear. You let me know what you think about me. Let me think what you think about the show. Maybe let me know what you think about Redman and Method Man. Maybe you check out one of the other episodes. Let me think about that topic. Maybe you go ahead and just interact with your boy, man. Just give me a shout out. Give me how to do something with it real quick one time with you. Just for the one time. No, but seriously though, thanks for checking out the episode. And I'll be back. Hopefully not as long a time between episodes this time. It's kind of like a minute to get out. It took me a minute to get it together. But, I'm working on the consistency. I'm working on transitions. I'm working on it all. It's a process, man. It's a work in progress, man. We keeping it moving. We out here trying, man. We ain't giving up. We keeping it pushing. We gonna keep on pushing. Oh, we got to keep on pushing. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for checking out the episode. And I'll be back. And I'll remember, I ain't shit. You ain't shit. But we all love 6.